all of today's developments, and he's here with an update. Jay.
Well, Kenneth and Aaron, in all, we had a former personal assistant, the former best friend of Sean Diddy Combs' girlfriend, and as you said, Dawn Rashard, one of Combs' former music artists. All three taking the stand this afternoon as the prosecution continues trying to make its case in day 6 of this trial. Federal prosecutors brought former Danity Kane band member Dawn Rashard back to the witness stand Monday to begin week 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking trial. The singer's direct testimony, a clear attempt to bolster those criminal charges, as she told jurors several of Combs' employees were aware of and did nothing to stop the multiple beatings Cassie Ventura suffered at the hands of her former boyfriend. Rashard told jurors she was scolded after she tried to offer emotional support to Ventura, adding former Bad Boy Records president Harve Pierre allegedly told her, quote, "It gets dark and lonely if you don't listen." That was stated by both Mr. Pierre and Mr. Combs. Adding Combs once told her, quote, "The relationship he had was passionate and that Cassie was okay, and if we said anything, we would go missing." Telling jurors she took that to mean, quote, "that we could die." Rashard also testified that there were several witnesses to Combs' physical abuse of Ventura, including fellow artists Usher and Neo, who she says were present when Combs allegedly punched Ventura in the stomach during an argument in a Los Angeles restaurant. Rashard's cross-examination, however, did not go as smoothly, as co-defense attorney Nicole Westmoreland aggressively attacked Rashard's credibility. She compelled Rashard to acknowledge in front of the jury that over the course of 8 different interviews with federal prosecutors, she offered 4 different versions of a violent encounter involving Combs and Ventura at his Los Angeles home, saw Combs carry but never pull out a handgun, and additionally, although Rashard testified she was scared of Combs and what she thought he was capable of, she admitted to calling him several times after leaving his company in 2011 to ask to work with him again. She also admitted to filing a civil lawsuit against Combs last year, 14 years after leaving his company, and only after Ventura filed her own civil lawsuit. David James, that former personal assistant, breaking down a couple of times on the witness stand, describing his encounters with Cassie Ventura. He's expected to return to the witness stand tomorrow to wrap up his direct testimony, which will be followed, of course, by cross-examination. We're live outside federal court in Lower Manhattan this afternoon. Jay Dow, Pix 11 News.
All right, Jay, and we should note that Pix 11 will be following the Sean Diddy Combs trial from the very beginning to the very end. You can find the very latest updates on air online at pix11.com. You can also watch a podcast that Jay has with our own Nicole Johnson called Dissecting Diddy. It is streaming on Pix 11 Plus.